Good morning, everybody. Nice to see you all back. A packed hall again, and I gather the dinner was very good, and I'm sure Tim McGarry was very kind to the minister. But anyway, I gather it was a good night, and interesting to hear from the minister, slightly in relaxed mode, and always very entertaining to have Tim McGarry around. So we have, as you would expect, and as you all know, a very busy, packed second day ahead of us. Just a reminder that when conference closes formally, there are still master classes. So if you haven't already and you want to, you can still sign up for those. And you can do that out at the conference reception outside. We will be joined later by a senior representative from Sinn Féin and by the DUP leader, Sir Geoffrey Donaldson, to discuss their party's priorities for the future transformation of health and social care. So that will be interesting, given what's happening on the wider political stage. No doubt they will have something to say about those uncertainties, both here and at Westminster. We'll certainly try to get them to say something. We'll also be hearing from leaders within the sector about the changes that need to be made to maximise delivery in the years ahead. So that's towards the end of today's proceedings. But to get us underway today, let me introduce the acting chair of the South Eastern Trust and the vice chair of NICON, Jonathan Patton.
Thank you, Mark. Good morning, conference, and welcome back to day 2 of NICON22. I think the buzz in the room yesterday and the noise just in the corridors as we moved about was just significant. And many people had said to me just how important it was to be back in the room, to be networking, to have conversations, and just to rekindle friendships that we'd lost over the last couple of years. So you're extremely welcome, and we have some great sessions put together again for today. I just want a couple of minutes. I want to recap on some of yesterday's activities and comments from speakers. I didn't get to see all of the fringe pieces around everywhere, but the threads that I picked up from yesterday were Michael opened conference yesterday morning with 4 S's. That's staff, the system, stability, and society, as he reminded us what the priorities were. The BBC told us what was happening at Daisy Hill. Oh no, let me do a U-turn on that. The minister announced that Daisy Hill and the next role it would hold providing care in the Southern Trust. Matthew Taylor stressed to us the importance of leaders getting headspace. And I think that's something that has to be a takeaway for many of us as we fight fires and as we race from one issue to another, that you need time out to think of what's coming over the horizon. The Permanent Secretary reminded us and said we need to maximise what we have and that efficiency and performance would be crucial. The Deputy Chief Constable, Mark Hamilton, challenged us in the room to say, how did you want the police to respond to someone with a mental health episode? And I think that gave us a little bit of reality touch in the room, how difficult it is for them and the police that they seek to serve the community in dealing with people that have real difficulties, and yet in the health system we struggle also to cater for them and to provide space for them. The CNO, I thought, was interesting, and closing her piece, she said, delivering and rebuilding health and social care will require the same challenge, courage and drive that created it. And that's something I think, again, it's food for thought, that all those years ago, the energy to get it off the ground, that we might need the same again to rebuild it and shape it as we go forward. And Neil Guckian talked to us about rebuilding is not just for an acute hospital. It needs right across the community and across everything we do. And then we were joined by Dr. Sam Armstrong, and we heard about his rural practice as a GP. And as Michael Longley, CBE, with his modulated voice and well-practiced delivery left us all spellbound and touched us by his words and his presence. Finally, before you get on with the day, this would not all be possible, not just with the arranging, but our audiovisual team have been working extremely hard in the corner. They have been putting up video clips, keeping the sound running, roving mics, live streaming. And it's a big production to keep it all going. And things were faultless yesterday that I was listening to. So would you just give them your appreciation, please, for what they have done? So as day 2 begins, I wish you well, enjoy the sessions, and I hand back to Mark. Thank you.